on chain and things like that, it was like super easy right out of the gate. And so that was really helpful. But when I got into crypto, it was like mid to late 2017. I had known about Bitcoin prior to that, but I didn't finally bite the bullet until around that point. And in my life at that time, I was trying to get out of IT. I just was over it. I was kind of burnt out, and I was trying to just get out of the rat race, quit working for the man and try to just build my own income streams online independently. So I was doing all the stuff, podcasting and ebooks and whatever you could do to kind of make money back, around that time. And none of it was really taking off. And I was at a bit of a low point, actually, in that time in 2017. So, in a bit of a moment of desperation, I cash advanced a credit card, like $10,000, maxed it out, and just bought Bitcoin with it. And within a month, it doubled. And then, another month, it doubled again. And then in another month, it doubled again. Have this thing to strive for. And so it was, again,
Your middle barracks are under attack.
But now it's like I get the whole reasoning and
nature's wrath.
Yeah, Chris, I would say that's very consistent with my experience as well. Yeah, that was the thing that got me during the Trump
Типайте его.
So, question for you, like, you just going back a little bit to your story, when you decided to max out the credit card and go all in on Bitcoin, like what gave you the conviction to go? Like, that's a pretty risky move at the time. I think, like, now it looks so obvious, but at the time, I think like that was a risky move. So what was it about that that got you to feel like, okay, like this is it, I'm going for it, and change in any means way? No, but if it does work out, is it going to like dramatically improve my financial position and circumstances? Yes. And I call this like the riskless life arbitrage or lifestyle arbitrage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
By my shaggy bar.
Absolutely. And I mean, thankfully, obviously it worked out. And it was nice because it started working out immediately. It wasn't like I had to wait 6 months, or I feel so bad for the people that got into crypto like at the beginning of this year who have been down only and are maybe back up to break even, maybe if they're lucky. Whereas me, I got in and I was doubled within a month. And, triple 4x in the beginning. So I never really had that experience of writing it down, feeling like lucky, I guess, a little bit in that regard, for sure, as far as the timing goes.
So, I know I'm talking a lot and asking a lot of questions, but I just let the other guys go, because I think this is...
It was during the more parabolic stage. It was in the later half of 2017.
Later half of 2017.
So what price are we talking when you entered? What are we talking
What? I think it was around 5,000 or 6,000 at the time when I bought. And it did go through a couple of... I mean, it still had I think 30% corrections in that stretch.
Марси, чем занимаешься?
It was going up and up, and of course, immediately I started branching out.
Не, ладно, Марси, реально все на виске.
But then once it doubled, I started taking that money and spreading it all over the place. I was running. I'm into this for 2 months, and I'm running trading bots. I'm buying ICOs. I'm like doing all this stuff, buying all this degen stuff. Like I have a snapshot of my portfolio. Bitcoin, and then there were literally like 40 other, shit coins basically at the time. It was kind of
Банда я ненавижу вас всех, блядь.
Yeah,
there was exciting. Like when I look back at some of this is like the exact action that you hope for, because like the drawdowns precede the big
Your
move,
bottom tower
and
is under attack.
sticking around through the time, end up being people that survive and thrive in the next company. So whether that happens in 3 months, like, doesn't even matter. But if you're here for the long term,
The enemy's
like,
top
this
tower
is the
has
exact time
fallen.
you want to be thinking about getting exposed.
absolutely.
Фура, все кнопки есть, го.
На броду пойдемте.
I'm early bit tensor also. I was buying in the.
Она
in the
снизу
$30
будет фармить,
range
вот
as well,
выйдите
back
вниз
then,
просто.
at that time too. So that's
Yeah, they had the
Совсем ебень, что ли?
right. The peer-to-peer exchange. Yeah. No,
and it reminded, it looked a lot like some of the early Bitcoin bulletin boards.
On my way.
yeah.
Chris, I'm curious, like,
you know, given that you have like quite a rich and long history,
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
I think it's a step.
Your
I think
bottom
that's too. I
barracks
think
are
that's
under
valid. Like I
attack.
think attention is a valid sector in this
Your
space.
bottom barracks has fallen.
Economy and tokenized attention is.
Your middle tower
I
is
think
under
that is
attack.
every bit as valid as privacy
Radiant
coins,
structures are fortified.
layer ones, as tech, alts, DeFi, whatever. Attention
Your middle tower has fallen.
right there. And they're their own thing, and they have their own underlying value.
Your middle tower is under attack. The enemy's top barracks
And I
has
think a lot
fallen.
of people dismiss them as just this kind of casino nonsense, and it's been turned into that somewhat with things like Fun and whatnot. But like the ones that rise out, the ones that break away and when I see that number higher on one asset than any other asset, that's huge, and I'm gonna go right towards that. I feel like the higher walls, that's even less, that carries less weight to me, the 100,000, the millions, because those are people that either already
my
kind of
way.
were rich or maybe got lucky, and it's a much smaller amount, and it doesn't represent to me the true, like, diamond hand convicted, full on, I'm here till the end kind of.
Yeah, like one of the ways I think about it is there is
Лечу.
And it's funny how much higher it is than all of these, all of these other very popular memes like Swift and Bonk and Doge and Shiba and Pepe and all. Like, it's significant. And so that was like, okay, this is safe. These people are absolutely committed to us. Skin in the game, as you said, exactly. And so that's how I.
The sun's
that's how I go
pale
about
sister
evaluating.
shines upon my leaves.
Something I want to touch on is that I think attention is
Your middle tower is under attack.
because we've seen what happens when you just have attention. You get basically every other single thing that has ever done. You get the full pump fun phenomenon. But when you have this supply,
it's like it really compounds your belief when you see people living what they preach, right? And continuing to show up, and you can't really substitute that. It doesn't matter how much of a risk inflow situation we get. It's ultimately like this is a game of longevity. Right? If you can't exist forever, you can't survive. You can't survive.
Enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
And that actually and so you have to find something that will defy those expectations, and it's clear as we actually do that enough times that it makes far more sense than try to hope it dies, think it will die, and find something else. It just makes far less sense.
Yeah, and I think
Dire
the
structures
Cognisphere
are
does another thing that's really unique, right? So one of the biggest
Radiant
things on
structures
social
are
media,
fortified.
and you really see
You now
you
have
yelling into the
major
universe about
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
the truth is you act locally, you think locally, that's how you change the
Radiant
world. So
victory.
what the Cognisphere does is it kind of takes that and puts it on a global scale, right? Like here we are trying to address a problem that we talk about on video, right? Like a lot of people are in despair. They have no hope. Hope is vital for anyone to survive, right? So it takes thinking, like acting locally, because you act within the Cognisphere, right? We have Tipping Tuesdays. We have, I'm drawing a blank on the name of it, but we kind of have like a fund set up for Aeons that are in trouble financially, and people donate to it. So you are helping, you're acting locally within this community, but it actually spans globally. And I think that is super unique and powerful. And again, can't put a metric on that. That's why these things are very misunderstood. There is no metric to measure the humanity of a